So now here we are. I find myself enthralled in yet another podcast beef, and we are going to discuss podcast wars the same way we discussed streaming wars, because quiet is kept. There's a lot of moving and shaking going around yet again that I don't think people are really paying attention to. And when some of these things happen on podcasts, my brain and just my higher frequency of thinking kind of tells me why things are being done when they're being done. So
it wouldn't be beef unless you threw yourself in it.
So let's have let's have a little bit of podcast beef. Here we are. At some point or another, I would like to say there were 2 times where I mentioned envy in a way that could be deemed as negative on this podcast. Mm-hmm. One is when DJ Envy, for those of you who don't know who I'm referring to, one was when he was on the radio saying he supported stop and frisk. Mm-hmm. That was on a Tuesday, or Monday or a Tuesday that happened. I tweeted, I said, DJ Envy supports stop and frisk, ... Interesting. And the other is on this podcast when we were talking about the success of The Breakfast Show and whether Envy is an A mic or not.
That and the Styles P freestyle you did, where he retweeted it and said Styles went off.
Oh yeah, that was real minor. I don't think he's going on a rant about that. But
no, he said it was
all right. So
that's when he was brought up.
So to my knowledge, and I mean, if I'm incorrect, I thought the fans would have let me know, and they didn't. That's all that was said about Envy. So I'm minding my business throughout the course of my day. NORE's podcast. Envy and Angela Yee are there. I immediately see it and think that's a great idea because they have the #1 morning show. It's probably a good idea to hear some of the behind-the-scenes stories that the two of them have, experienced throughout the years. And NORE's podcast, what up, NORE, is premised on getting niggas drunk, pissy drunk, and then, spilling stories and maybe going at niggas. So I understand it. It's a very entertaining podcast,
great
right?
Podcast.
Yeah.
We really enjoy it. And he got a deal from Revolt.
Maybe.
Was that a secret?
Yeah. I don't know if that's out
true.
there yet, so I'm not going to confirm or deny.
Oh, well, all right. Well, allegedly, NORE is with Revolt. That's not, we're not fact checking here.
Shouts to NORE, man.
I didn't
That's my
call
nigga,
NORE.
man.
Shout out to NORE for the war report. Like, you just got to do it. You just got to do it. If you have an album like that in your discography, yeah, you're rocking. But anyway, so on NORE's podcast, Envy and Angela Yee are there, and they get right to the shits immediately. Do we have it so we can play it?
Yeah, I have it.
We'll play some of it.
That's not a curse.
That's a blessing.
Okay, continue.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's a disappointment as a person.
Speaking about you.
You got your phone number?
Yeah, we see each other a lot at the barbershop. And it's certain things that I respect from people, and if he's that way, I understand. That's in his blood, and that's him. He can't change
It's
that.
in his blood. I like the shot.
Like,
Way to go, NORE. Thanks a lot, bro.
I respect. And he was one of those individuals that coming up, we came up together.
Came through y'all, right?
So
Clue put him
That's
on,
true.
correct?
yeah, Clue put him on.
All of this is true thus far.
Web and Nitty picked him up.
Yeah, if there was a problem or a situation, I would call him first. For instance, since we here, I'm not drunk yet, but when we get drunk, I'll tell you some more.
Okay, yeah, please.
Oh, gosh.
Please.
Way to go, NORE.
What I think makes a disappointment is he's a runner. And when I mean runner, if he gets pressed into a corner,
you pussy.
he runs.
That is what that means. Let's
So I'm
listen.
saying, like, let's do the history.
Break it
Shout
down,
out to
Envy.
Taxstone. Taxstone is here.
What up, Tax?
Taxstone bump heads it, but if
fucks
I
with
see him, I
Tax.
still approach
What
him,
up, bro?
still met.
Approach him how?
Nah, like if we have a difference of opinions, we could, as men, we can have a difference of opinions.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
But when he did that podcast, when he
Speak
was
about Joe Buttons, correct?
Yeah, when he was
Okay.
feeling
own
the way-
podcast.
What was
when
on
he
the
feeling way.
podcast?
I don't remember what it was, but I just remember him leaving, him walking out. That's not.
Because you was scared.
He's referring to me walking out of the Tax podcast, right?
And then when he went to
'Cause I'm
what was
pussy.
it, Hot 97 interview?
You are.
Thanks,
With
Roy.
Ebro, he ran out when he was asked some questions.
Ran out.
And so you can't live your life like that. You can't live your life where you have 100% of your life out there, but then when they ask you about something in your life and you don't feel comfortable, you run.
Look at me,
That's not
King.
grown man shit.
Bars.
Not to talk about him because I don't want to talk about it so much. But
All right, do we need any more of this?
We don't.
We
We got
don't
the
need.
point.
We don't need any more of this.
He was just trying to give you a large picture.
So, Maul, this is what has been occurring while you have been gone. Now, a few things here. I don't mind anything that Envy said there. I actually thought that he handled that situation probably as best as he could. This is my only thing. Yo, at some point, at some point it started to become really easy for batteries to be inserted into people.
Right.
So I always will find it funny when NORE says, yeah, Joe Budden been coming at you. Did you hear it? Envy says no. And then just goes on this, fuck Joe Budden is pussy, Joe Budden is a runner. So that's number one. That's my problem number one there. Number two, NORE has been doing this a lot now, right?
Yeah, NORE likes to bring you up on his podcast.
Why do you think NORE likes to bring me up so much on his podcast?
The people that he speaks to have some form of a history with you, I would say.
Well, NORE's my guy from Queens. Like, that's my guy. That's my guy. So I don't know why he brings me up, but there's got to be a reason. It's got to be a reason if Vlad brings me up too, and I don't think the reasons are similar at all. I don't think they're parallel, but you got to look at the large picture, man. No, we don't care.
Envy was trying to give you the large picture right there.
And wait, let me also add that Envy is starting a podcast.
He is.
Envy and his wife.
That's interesting.
I don't know what it's called, but that's important to note here as I'm being character assassinated on this show. Oh, this is time out. This is my only other problem with shit like this. And I texted Envy earlier. I texted him. I said, we should talk, no? And he said, question mark. I said, I heard the podcast. It sounded like we should talk. Don't you agree? And he said, yeah, so eventually him and I will have a conversation. But let me ask y'all two who know me, and I know my brain is off here. The tax shit and the Ebro shit, why do people keep bringing up those interviews as examples of running from confrontation?
Well, I mean, jokes are better than facts on Twitter, so that's where that comes in. But I think
no, but they weren't joking just now when they said that.
No, but I think Envy
was
feels
very serious.
I think Envy feels the type of way to the point of you speaking to Charlemagne, saying, "I've known you from South Carolina. We go way back. There's certain things that you could speak to me about before you say them on the air." I think that's the same case here. Envy is looking like, Joe, shit, we go back to my mother's basement. You ain't need to say that.
I didn't need to say that Envy's supposed to stop and frisk.
His point of view.
It's interesting to me. I think men should stop doing that too. Like, I don't want people calling me every time they think something about me.
Oh, me either. But
I don't even care.
I think that was Envy's point, and I'm just trying to put it in your point of view with the same thing with Charlemagne. When you were saying we know each other outside of this industry shit.
I'm gonna ask Envy. Envy's gonna give me an apology on my podcast.
All right, Ray J, we got it.
The bottom line is niggas just don't fuck with you, yo.
That was a better way to sum it up.
But I've been told you that about Envy. Real shit. I've been told you, but I told you that about Envy like 2 years ago when we was at Jose's crib that day at the barbershop, and you know he was waiting to get cut after you. And it was just weird, like, he didn't say what's up, nothing. And I was like, and then when we walked out, I said, yo, you and Envy don't fuck with each other?
I remember that. I remember.
It's like an industry what's up. Like, niggas feel like because y'all in the same industry, they say what's up. But niggas really don't fuck with you. That's the bottom line. Like, I think Envy, you know, he's a cool nigga for the most part. I don't really know him like that. I see him coming, but he don't fuck with you. Even before all of this tweeting shit and all of that, he just don't fuck with you. We've seen him in strip clubs certain nights. He don't speak to you. Like, nigga, he really just don't fuck with you.
Well, yes, you're right. But I mean, if we're gonna tell the truth here, and this is why I want to call Envy and be clear, I gave Envy an open invitation to join this podcast whenever he feels. But if we're gonna be transparent here, it's some nights where Envy's feeling himself out in the streets.
Yeah,
it's some nights where Envy's feeling himself. He don't really want to talk.
Yeah.
I mean, he's Ferrari'd up.
Yeah.
He's fucking 2 chained up.
Yeah.
Envy is very political, and you have a stigma around you that isn't political. So liking you is not, if someone's trying to be political in the industry, liking you is probably not in their best benefit.
But you know what? But let me give y'all the large picture here. And this is to Maul's point now. What's becoming trendy and very popular in the industry is when men don't fuck with you, but they haven't let you, and I'm not saying this is applicable to Envy and myself, but when men don't fuck with you and they don't let you know they fuck with you and they hide it under the guise of, oh, I fuck with you, we go way back.
Yeah.
That happens a lot.
Right.
A lot. I even noticed it on Twitter, like the Twitter niggas with that whole fucking you know, the condescending shit they do, the fucking salutes. I don't mean like when you salute,
right,
but like when you retweet some shit and you give them fake props or shit like that.
Yeah.
Like, knock it the fuck off. You don't fuck with me, I don't fuck with you. That's okay.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with that. How come everybody always thinks something is wrong when you don't fuck with somebody?
It's not that
Most
it's
people
something.
want to be liked. That's all.
Yeah, and I mean, this industry is just built on just, especially hip hop. I don't think R&B or country music has to deal with this type of shit. But like in our culture, we give out a lot of fake love. Like, what's up? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I fuck with you. And then as soon as you walk away, it's like, man, fuck that nigga.
And
Hip hop is so crabs in the barrel that if someone else is getting attention, you feel like, all right, I'm not getting enough attention. Let me go get that attention.